So you have. We're talking about anime and manga at the moment. We're in the middle. We were in the middle of a conversation before we were recording, so just bear with us.
Yes.
I'm talking about Bleach and fan service, just to give you an idea of kind of what we're focusing on.
Do you read me,
So
goddammit?
I said the Arrancar is an anime arc only. It's not in the manga.
It's straight up filler.
It's straight up filler for the anime, so that the manga could get a little ahead before the anime continued.
You know, build up a little bit of a
But that has
buffer.
nothing to do with what we were talking about. That's just.
The context of this. Of the
And
conversation.
in all seriousness, it's probably because I'm a Bleach fanboy. The Arrancar, or not the Arrancar, the Bount. That's what it. Excuse everything I just said. The Bount arc is the filler arc.
Yes.
It's an interesting arc.
It's not terrible. You can
It's
have
on
filler and
its
still
on
be
its
good.
own. It's not terrible. If you look at it as its fact that it's filler, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But the point I'm getting at is we were talking about fan service being introduced kind of unrelated to the story and how that's detrimental to a story. You can have stories that are about fan service or have characters who are about fan service and it being okay because that's part of it already.
It's whether or not it fits into the tone of the
Right,
series
when you
overall.
just throw it on, that's where you get the problem. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
And so what I wanted to talk about was with Bleach. There was a little bit of, just a touch of fan service in the fact that, like, Orihime is a very, very well-endowed character.
Yes.
She doesn't, she doesn't play off of that, but that was already kind of part of it. There are other characters in Bleach in the early beginning who are just very fan servicey in the fact that they were just very well endowed. But that wasn't part of the story. It wasn't thrown on.
Yeah.
However, you get to the Arrancar arc, which is the biggest main arc of Bleach. So that was good, because the arc itself is good, because it's story, it is part of the series, it is part of the universe, and it's a fucking good arc.
Yeah.
Like, it's the final main arc of the good story, and I really like the Arrancar. But there was one Arrancar
Is after that point it kind of drops off.
well, there's one Arrancar in general that I'm talking about that kind of threw fan service into the series because she was just an over-sexualized character.
Is it Nell or the one with the underboob?
Not Nell.
The
Because
one with underboob?
The one with the underboob. Because
Yeah.
Nell was a...
The brown skin one with the blonde hair.
Yes, but I want to talk about Nell real quick because
Okay.
she is a little fan servicey.
She's
but
pretty fan servicey.
But she was this innocent child character originally. She just
Yeah.
happened to be very sexual when she...
Changed.
Right. And that was just part of her character. It wasn't thrown on her. Whereas I can't think of her name off the top of my head.
I honestly don't
But
remember.
the darker skinned character with the blonde hair, I think she's number 3 of the Arrancar. Please don't quote me on it.
I don't think
I'm
we're...
a big Bleach fanboy.
Just keep in mind we've
This is
also
my
been
first
drinking
anime,
a
but I
lot.
haven't
We don't
watched in a while.
necessarily... We don't necessarily remember things exactly how they are.
From years ago. But her whole character was the fact that she had these massive underboobs. That's
Hey.
all. That's
Hey,
all
man.
it was.
Hey man, underboob's pretty good.
It is, but what we're talking about with fan service just being thrown on the show,
When your character is underboob, you have a problem.
she wasn't much of a character otherwise because there were other characters with big boobs like Rangiku.
Rangiku, Nell...
But she was an
Transform.
awesome character, period.
Yeah.
She had personality.
She had a lot of
character.
She had a lot of potential
Exactly.
to
And
be a
that-
character other than just boobs.
Exactly. And so that's just another example of fan service being kind of thrown on the show, whether it not fan service because the show is supposed to be fan servicey or it just happens to be part of it. It
Yeah.
was thrown on as a secondary fact.
Yeah, and specifically what brought this, not necessarily what brought this up, but what my point, what I was talking about was in Fairy Tail when the character of Urza Scarlet was pretty much just used as a source of fan service, even though the scene that she was in was torture. And I'm not okay with reducing a character to being tortured for fan service. Like
The almost reducing a character to another.
yeah, like almost one of my favorite characters. Like, okay, to counteract, not necessarily counteract that point, but one of my favorite characters in another manga/anime is Berserk. One of my favorite characters is Casca. She is just incredibly.
I have to pass gas. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, we're good. Go back.
You didn't shit yourself, did you?
No, I shit myself earlier.
Okay.
Which
That's
I
true.
went to the bathroom earlier.
That's true. You saved yourself.
Oh God.
It was super close.
I want
No, open the door. What? Okay, I'm gonna
Can
keep
we
talking
just
anyway.
title the entire Aliens playthrough as Serious Talk?
Serious.
Real talk.
Real talk. I almost shit myself.
No, just because like with Drake,
It's
you and
just-
I commented on the game and how bad it was.
Yeah.
Whereas with Aliens, Colonial Marines, we've literally not been paying attention to the game. We've just been talking.
Yeah. I'm just running through shooting dudes.
Exactly.
This is the game at this point.
What
Oh,
were you,
what's this?
you were talking about Berserk. Go.
Berserk. One of my favorite characters is a character named Casca.
Yeah.
Her arc is that she is not a general, but a leader in this army that the main character Guts joins. And she's
Guts.
Guts. And no, his name is Guts.
No, I know. I
Swear
just
to
really
God, if
like
any of
Guts
you
from
fuckers
Kill la
call
Kill.
him Gatsu, I'm gonna stab
No,
you.
Guts from. I was doing Guts from Kill la Kill.
Oh,
the
Guts.
dog. Guts.
That's Guts. Yeah. No, but his name is Guts. Anyway, the character that I'm talking about is Casca, and she's just this incredibly interesting character. Originally, she was from like this. She was a farmer's daughter who was almost sold, who was essentially passed off to a rich guy, as she was
a slave.
not necessarily a slave. She thought she
Maid.
was gonna be. She thought she was gonna be a maid. She almost ended up getting, raped on the roadside, but she
Uh-huh.
was saved by a character called Griffith. He was
Okay.
another main character from Berserk. From that point, she decides her own path in life.
Okay.
She takes control of herself and her surroundings, and her main arc is that coming to terms with herself and her relationship with Guts. Like, she's not necessarily willing to be intimate with another person because she's part of a mercenary group, and from her perspective, to be vulnerable is to be human,
Weak.
almost, to be weak.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's a part where she she gets violated, and it's not, the way it's done is not good, and it's purposefully not good.
But it works in context with the show. It's part of a
it's
character-defining moment.
Yes, it's a very, very
Versus like,
complicated
yo,
situation.
fans, get
Yeah.
in on this, and I want to make your penises hard. It was
Yeah.
more of a hardship.
Like, the way in the relationship that I was talking to about Urza was, I liked Urza's character because she was similar to Casca in that
She was strong.
She was strong, and she knew who she was. But then you have her in the situation where she is presented as an object. Whereas the situation with Casca is, she is presented in a situation where she is being violated, and not in a sexual way. It is wrong. You understand that it is wrong, and you understand the trauma that comes with it. Because again, it's a very complicated situation. I fell down here. But like, what makes her one of my favorite characters is that she is very independent.
You keep giving me so many Chiefs in this game. Stop it.
But like,
I want my Chiefs!
but she is her own character, independent of what other people's agency is. But like, her character becomes violated, and it's treated as this tragedy. It is wrong what happens, and you
Right.
understand that it is wrong, and you
It's
feel
not fetishized.
It's not fetishized. It is
Is that a word?
fetishized. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted
to be
make-
to be turned into a
Right.
fetish.
I knew there was a form of it. I wanted to make sure I was using the
Yeah.
right.
No, but like, the situation with Casca is this tragedy because you are seeing this independent individual being turned into, like, not necessarily a tragic piece, but she is turned into a tragedy. But like, afterwards, she is actually, oddly enough, still her own character. Like, even after that.
Well, instead of letting it
instead of-
harm her, she uses it to empower her, right?
Well, it's more complicated than that, because like, the entire trauma of that section kind of
Changes her.
she experiences a post-traumatic stress where she kind of reverts into like a childlike innocence to try and, like, I guess, to forget it. It's really sad. But like, the reasons that she's one of my favorite characters is that even after that stress, she's still her own independent character. Like, the main character, Guts, wants to protect her, but she still has her own agency. She doesn't trust Guts because Guts himself is not a stable character.
Right.
But like even after the tragedy that befalls her, she is still her own person, even though she's not necessarily conscious of, like, she's not necessarily capable of advanced thought. And I know I'm butchering this because I'm drunk, but like even after the tragedy that befalls her, even after all the bad things that happen to her, she still moves forward.
Right.
She is still her own character, and the thing that kind of ruined her is in the past. Like, it still is a part of her, but it's not what defines her.
She moves forward.
She moves forward. She is still her own person. And I really, really admire
Guys,
that.
unlock the door.
Now I gotta press this stupid thing. But like,
Gotta
again,
type on them keyboards.
but like in comparison to Urza Scarlet, it's just this scene where it's not. It's in the moment a character-defining thing, but then immediately forgotten. So the context and tone of that situation
It doesn't carry over.
It doesn't carry over, but the context and tone of that specific situation is purely fan service. And I just cannot stand that. Like, if you're going to
Do
have
complete fan service, that's all the show is, versus throwing it in.
like, if you're going to have this really, really human point of a character, actually have it be part of a character, not this throwaway scene where you see tits. Like, honestly,
That's what porn is for.
it's turning a character into a fetish, and I'm just not okay with that. And again, if I'm not necessarily making sense, it's, I'm probably not articulating it particularly well. I've had, what is it, like 5
Oh God, I don't even know anymore.
5 or 6 grasshoppers, I think.
We're
basically.
about even.
Essentially. But it's just this comparison between how you write a character. It's like, do you actually want to move this character forward? Between, do you want to manipulate and use this character to sell something?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how long we can keep the PMC.
And I guess it's not necessarily fair to compare Berserk and Fairy Tail, but it's the way that the author treated Urza in Fairy Tail is just another reason why I don't necessarily consider it very good. I mean, I still read it because, I want to see how it ends.
Whoa. What you're saying is they've done so much good with Ezra as a character up until that point.
Up until oh, goddamn, can I not get that?